My first day bush hogging with this tractor, I had a little breakdown on the bush hog. Let me show you what I had. This piece of metal right here, it goes from there up to there, just broke off. Of course, that's a used bush hog. I've got a little 110 volt welder. I'm gonna try to weld it. Here's a look at my little welder right here. It's just a 110 volt welder. I got it from Harbor Freight. The rod I'm gonna try to start out with is an E6011. So what I think I'm gonna do, now that I've unhooked, I think I may actually try to take this bolt out, see if I can get this metal out from in there, or I can get that wheel in there and grind down on it. That bolt came out of there pretty easy. You can see about how thick that metal is. So like I say, I'm just gonna grind the corners off. What I'm thinking is that welder's not gonna get very deep as it melts into the metal. So I'm gonna kind of grind the corners down where I can melt a little deeper. Then I'll try my best to run a bead over that and then just keep building it up and see if it'll hold that on there. I am pretty much an amateur welder, so we'll see how it goes for me. I went ahead and got me some vice grips to hold on to that metal. I'm thinking I may just try to put my foot on it to hold it and grind on it. I may have to kind of readjust, but that's what I'm gonna do. There's a look at my grinder right there. Like I say, I'm not even close to being a professional, so this is not a how-to video. I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. All right, I'm hoping I didn't grind off too much. That metal was pretty soft, so it ground pretty well. Like I say, I'm just trying to make it thinner. That little welder will melt down into the metal, and I'm gonna run several beads to build it back up. That support brace is what keeps that from moving up and down and kind of helps control the height of the back of the bush hog back there. This little piece right here, I guess it bent probably right before it broke, and it's kind of making it where it doesn't, I haven't got it bent back just right, make it where it doesn't fit together just right. Let's see if I can just break that off of there. Just broke that little piece of metal off. It's probably wouldn't be supporting a whole lot anyways. So there's an idea of what it's going to kind of look like. I just ground down where I can hopefully run that first bead right in the middle of that groove. I bought this thing a couple years ago at Tractor Supply. I never have used it. It's actually a strong magnet. It's made for welding angles together, and it seems like it's going to hold it pretty good. Well, I need to fine tune it a little bit. I got a pretty good gap right there, but try to use that to hold everything together until I can get it tacked together. I'm gonna try that right there. All right, like I said, I'm an amateur welder. I'm having trouble striking my arc. I believe this E7014 is a little bit easier to weld with. I'm gonna try it. I was thinking that other rod would do a better job, but I'm going to start with this, at least see if I can get it tacked together with that one right there. Put a little weld on that side right there and that side right there. I'm going to get this little slag hammer, try to beat on it a little bit, but the problem I had is my rod on the other rod kept sticking, and then I'd end up shifting this and it wouldn't hold together. So like I say, I used that different rod. Hopefully that weld will hold good enough, and then I'll come back with the other one and try to put a better bead right in the center of that groove. So I wasn't doing very good with the 6011, so I went again with the E7014. I guess I'll just try to use that rod for this job. That's my first bead I ran. So I just hammered on it. I ground a little bit on it, but that is my second bead. Let me hammer that off of there. That's what it looks like after. That's what it looks like after I hammered the slag off. Now I'm probably going to try to put a bead on that side and that side of the original bead. So there's the 2 other beads I just laid down. I tried to put it in between that one bead. I'm going to come back and probably weld on that side of that one, right there, and then around that side. I don't know if that don't look very good to me. I don't know if that'll hold anything, but I may put a little bit more right in there. I might put a little bit more right in there, but then I'll flip it over and repeat the process on the other side, hook it up and see if it'll hold. Here's what the other side, a before shot of what the other side looks like before I start welding on it. Here's what the first weld looks like on the bottom side. I'm hoping that what little welding I've already done, I'm hoping that my welding has improved a little bit. I'm hoping that I did a better job actually pushing that puddle and melting the metal. So I guess I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna try using that right there. Put it on there and see how long it'll hold before it breaks again. You can see I burned a lot of rods there. Got it back on there, got the bolt back in. Gonna hook it up and see how long it'll hold. Ended up not getting any more bush hogging done the other day, so I'm back out here again this afternoon. Gonna see how good my weld will hold up. One more look at the upper end of my welding job there. Here's a look at the field I'm fixing to be bush hogging. I believe it's approximately 13 acres. Alright, so I cut probably about 2 hours. Now we'll go look at that weld and see if there's any cracks in it. Alright, we'll see how this weld looks. And from here I don't see any cracks that I can see. Hard to tell. Let's see if that GoPro will fit in there. I think it's holding so far.